Rather than a matter of faith, it may simply be a way of life, a habit of expressing gratitude for the ordinary moments of everyday life. Hello, this is Tawan. Today, I'd like to take a slightly different perspective and talk about the philosophy found in Japanese food. If you ever have the chance to eat with a Japanese person, you'll notice that before the meal, they put their hands together and say, "Itadakimasu." And after finishing the meal, they say, "Gochisosama." They might also put their hands together again at that time. Why do Japanese people say these words every time they eat? It's not just about showing gratitude to the person who prepared the meal. Even when someone cooks for themselves and eats alone, many still say "Itadakimasu." That's because many people put their hands together and say it before eating, even when alone. So, what does "Itadakimasu" really mean? When I was a student, I was once asked overseas, why do Japanese people say "Itadakimasu" before eating? At the time, I answered that it was to show gratitude to the person who made the food, but deep down I felt that wasn't the whole reason, and I was a bit confused. I just couldn't explain it well. And I always felt that the words "Itadakimasu" and "Gochisosama" carried a much deeper meaning. In Japan, there is an ancient belief that spirits reside within nature. In the mountains and rivers, the wind and the sun, and even in a single grain of rice on our table. It is believed that even a single piece of vegetable contains life and a trace of a sacred spirit. According to surveys in Japan, over 70% of Japanese people say they do not believe in any religion. Yet every year, at the beginning of the year, about 60% of people say they plan to visit a shrine to give thanks. Rather than a matter of faith, it may simply be a way of life, a habit of expressing gratitude for the ordinary moments of everyday life. When I was a young child, I remember hearing from adults that there was a mysterious soul hidden deep inside the pit of a pickled plum, and being extremely curious to see what this so-called soul actually looked like. I tried my absolute hardest to crack open the very hard, tough pit with my teeth. I remember feeling quite disappointed and let down when I finally found that there was absolutely nothing at all inside. Looking back now, maybe I was being taught the Japanese spirit of finding value in things that cannot be seen. The word "Itadakimasu" carries with it a sense of gratitude for receiving life, for the plants and animals that became our food, and for the nature that nurtured them, for the people who harvested, transported, and prepared the food. This dining table before us now exists thanks to the connection of all those lives. Putting our hands together is not just a matter of manners, it's an act of sincerely expressing our gratitude to those lives. Takuan, a Zen monk from the Edo period, once said this: "If it is to save a life, one should not begrudge spending a large sum of money." However, even a single bowl of rice is something that sustains life and must not be treated carelessly. As these words suggest, in Japan, food has long been passed down as an act of prayer that honors life. And another philosophy found in Japanese meals is the concept of shun, or seasonal food. In Japan, savoring the seasons is considered very important. As the seasons change, so do the nutrients our bodies need. Eating foods in season means living in harmony with the rhythms of nature. This reflects the wisdom of the Japanese people who live in harmony with nature. Also, Japanese food culture has a philosophy of time. Miso, soy sauce, mirin, amazake, and koji All of these are fermented foods made through the power of microorganisms and time. Instead of seeking immediate results, we entrust things to time and let them mature slowly. 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, this very act of waiting is a symbol of the Zen spirit and a way of living in harmony with nature. Furthermore, Japanese cuisine embraces the beauty of ma, or empty space. A small portion of food is served on the plate. Within that space, there is a quietness, a sense of presence, and a beauty like breathing. It's not that something is lacking, but rather that nothing is excessive. This sense of Japanese balance is found not only in cuisine, but also in music, architecture, the tea ceremony, and calligraphy. At Zen temples, meals are considered a form of spiritual practice. Monks known as Tenzo prepare the meals with heartfelt care. There, the idea is that cooking itself is a form of prayer. To eat is to live. To live is to be one with nature. That is why Japanese food always carries a sense of gratitude for receiving life. In our busy modern lives, meals can sometimes become just another task. But originally, mealtime is meant to be a moment to bring body and mind together in harmony. Savoring with all 5 senses, feeling the seasons, and focusing on the present moment. Before eating, we put our hands together, express gratitude for life, and savor the food as if becoming one with the ingredients. This is also a form of eating meditation that can be practiced every day. There is a deep philosophy within Japanese food culture. Harmony with nature, gratitude, and the wisdom of time found in fermentation. These are by no means outdated ideas. In fact, they are sensibilities that are especially necessary for those of us living in the modern age.